Pepe, hey, Robert.
Spiral down. The father was strict in the hospital because he was really sick. Then he died a week later.
Oh, wow.
Taki dla Ciebie pełen alkoholowy, nie?
To przynajmniej jedna jest. Cześć Beata!
Cześć Bratka! Beata, czemu ty nie maszerujesz z nami? No rób tam cześć Beata! Szybciej!
The International Harvest.
Yeah, they had the open.
Trots.
No, they're in again. Well, maybe one extra.
Not getting my vote.
Możemy się posunąć jak trzeba.
Day celebration here in the city of Poughkeepsie. Please stand for our national anthem, which will be sung by Karen Johnson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now please remain standing for the Polish national anthem to be led by the children from the Polish school, Maria Kopnicka School of Polish Language.
Jeszcze Polska nie zginęła, kiedy my żyjemy. Co nam obca przemoc wzięła, szablem odbierzemy. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, ziemię włoskiej do Polski. Za twoim przewodem złączy się z narodem. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, ziemię włoskiej do Polski. Za twoim przewodem złączy się z narodem. Przejdę Wisłę, przejdę Wartem, będzie Polakami. Da nam przykład Bonaparte, jak zwycięstwo żać mamy. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, ziemię włoskiej do Polski, za Twoim przewodem złączył się z narodem. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, ziemię włoskiej do Polski, za Twoim przewodem złączył się z narodem.
All of our priests are busy today. They couldn't be with us, but if we could take a moment of silence and bow our heads. Dear Lord, bless us for this day. Thank you for holding the rain off for our Pulaski Day celebration here in the city of Poughkeepsie. Remember all of our families that are gathered here, those who are with us and those who could not be with us here today. Bless our Polish community here in Poughkeepsie, that they continue to strive and carry out their good Polish deeds throughout our community and our world. Bless our city and our representatives that are here with us as they continue to lead and guide us. And we ask all these things in your name. Amen. Please be seated. So thank you all for coming out today here at Pulaski Park as we commemorate General Kazimierz Pulaski, the father of American cavalry, a Polish patriot, and someone who fought for American independence here in the great United States of America. And this year we celebrate back 76 years ago when this monument was dedicated in his memory. Poles throughout Poughkeepsie and the Hudson Valley came together as they richly established their families with their churches. They worked in our deep industries and manufacturing and set about here in our first ward, and they thought it would be most fitting to erect a monument and statue in memory of General Kazimierz Pulaski. And since that time, the city has been faithful enough to commemorate this day and this weekend for Poles here in the city of Poughkeepsie. So it gives me great pleasure on behalf of the city representing us here today to introduce our first ward councilman and common council chairman, Mr. Chris Petsis. And of course, without Chris, this event would not be possible. So Chris, I want to thank you, and you're here. Come on up.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome to Pulaski Day once again. We are delighted to have this every year here at the monument. And I just want to have a proclamation from the mayor that could not be here today. But I just want to note that when I got up to this podium a couple of years ago, I had talked about improving this park. Last year, we put all those new park benches in behind you. We did some work on the lower end of the park. And while you may not see improvements or think improvements happen this year, actually we had over 30 volunteers from IBM come this year. And they went into that bathhouse that was, I have to tell you, was in deplorable shape. They scraped every wall, every ceiling, and repainted the entire bathhouse. And it looks beautiful inside. So you may not be able to see it from the outside, but I want you to know that our commitment to improving this park in memory of Mr. Pulaski is strong. And next year we even have plans to repaint the entire outside of the building as well. So hopefully, not hopefully, next time this year, the outside of that building will be painted once again and looking well. So we are doing everything we can on a small budget here in the city of Poughkeepsie to improve Pulaski Park. But as long as I'm the councilman, we're going to do everything we can. Too often we build monuments and we kind of forget about them. And I want to make sure that this is never forgotten about. And so on that note, I just want to read this proclamation quickly because I know it's a little cool out here. But this is from the mayor of the city of Poughkeepsie, Mayor Rob Rollison, and it reads very quickly, whereas it is necessary to honor the memory of the General Kazimierz Pulaski, a courageous soldier of liberty who bravely gave his life over 200 years ago fighting for America's independence. And whereas the stories of General Pulaski, heroism during the Revolutionary War, have been a source of inspiration for many generations of Americans, his sacrifices serves as a reminder of the price patriots paid to obtain our liberty. And whereas in 1929, after much support of the Polish-American citizens throughout the country, President Hoover proclaimed October 11th a national day in honor of the 150th anniversary of General Pulaski's death. And whereas the City of Poughkeepsie proudly honors him with a dignified memorial in Pulaski Park, now, therefore, I, Robert G. Riles, the Mayor of the City of Poughkeepsie, proclaim Tuesday, October 11th, 2016 as Pulaski Day in the City of Poughkeepsie. That is signed by the Mayor. And again, on behalf of the City of Poughkeepsie, I know a lot of you come from outside the City of Poughkeepsie to this event. Thank you for doing this and keeping up your tradition.
Thank you, Chris. And yes, we'll keep Mayor Rolston and his family in our prayers. His wife's grandmother passed away over the weekend, so we'll keep them in our prayers today. Now to bring greetings on behalf of our state representatives, I'd like to introduce our dear friend, Senator Sue Serino.
I'd like to thank Mayor Tyzik for keeping up this tradition. This is so nice. Thank you for inviting me today. I'm Polish on my mother's father's side of the family, my grandfather, so I'm glad that I'm able to be here, and I love seeing the children and the beautiful outfits that everyone has on, and that you're able to speak the language and sing in the language as well, because so often we lose that, and I think it's so important for our children to grow up and be able to continue on. So thank you very much for having me here today, and the rain held up. Hallelujah. Thank you.
Another dear friend of the Polish community that's with us each and every year, our New York State Assemblyman, Frank Skartatos.
Yes, well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I am really very, very glad that we are continuing on this very important tradition that we started some time ago. This most colorful and ethnic event that has been taking place in the city of Poughkeepsie, the Pulaski Parade. And I want to thank Mayor Tyzik for keeping up his word and for being with us today and continuing this tradition. And of course, for the last 7 years, I too have been participating, and I had the honor to celebrate and honor the life and legacy of a Polish-born immigrant, patriot, Brigadier General Casimir Pulaski. This American Revolutionary War hero was an immigrant. He fought and died in the siege of Savannah to secure the rights, to secure the birth of a new nation, which is based on the idea of liberty and justice for all. So, ladies and gentlemen, America is a nation of immigrants. It is indeed immigrants who founded and created this nation that has become the most powerful and the most generous nation in the history of mankind. And believe me, I know this from first-hand experience as an immigrant myself. So today, as we pay tribute to this American Revolutionary War hero, we also celebrate and pay tribute to the Polish heritage and to the Polish-American community for their many contributions to this nation. We owe General Pulaski, the Polish people, and all immigrants a very big debt of gratitude. And now I am looking forward to the traditional Polish food and music and dance, and congratulations on another very successful Pulaski Parade here in the city of Poughkeepsie. Thank you. May God bless you.
And now from the Maria Kopnicka School of Polish Language, Paulina Sorowiec.
Good morning. Dzień dobry. Last night I was honored to represent Maria Kopnicka School of Polish Language at the annual ball for teachers, Polish teachers. I brought 2 diplomas awarded by the president of the Polish Council of Polish Supplementary School Council of America. The Minister of Polish Education from Poland, the Polish Consulate, the President of the Polish Supplementary Council wants to congratulate you for the wonderful work, to all the teachers, parents, students, the Polish community in Poughkeepsie. You're doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Please allow me to honor those 2 people. I will read it in Polish, I apologize. Skoro tylko rozumiemy, że tajemnica szczęścia tkwi nie tylko w posiadaniu, lecz w dawaniu, staniemy się, czyniąc innych szczęśliwymi, sami szczęśliwi. Dyplom dla Barbary Kocoń, dowód uznania za wkład pracy w działalność Komitetu Rodzicielskiego Szkoły Języka Polskiego imienia Marii Konopnickiej w Poughkeepsie, New York. Pani Basiu, gratulujemy. And I have one more. This diploma is awarded to a teacher who's been working with me very hard for the past 3 years. This is our 4th year together. Znakomitym nauczycielem jest dopiero ten, kto umie innych nauczyć tego, czego sam nie umie. Dyplom dla Beaty Mroczek, nauczycielski Polskiej Szkoły Języka Polskiego imienia Marii Konopnickiej w Poughkeepsie, New York. Dowód uznania dla umiejętności pedagogicznych oraz za szczególne osiągnięcia w pracy dydaktyczno-wychowawczej. Gratuluję. Osobiście pragnę podziękować wszystkim nauczycielom, rodzicom i dzieciom, bo muszę przyznać, że to jest mój 4. rok i 4. rok zostałam wyróżniona jako dyrektor szkoły przez prezesa szkół polonijnych. To nie byłoby, gdyby was tutaj nie było. I jeszcze raz dziękuję wam z całego serca i mam nadzieję, że dalej będziecie mnie wspierać. Jeżeli nie mnie, to następnego dyrektora, bo ta szkoła musi istnieć i musimy o to walczyć. Dziękuję, życzę miłej niedzieli. Thank you, have a nice Sunday.
And now to bring us a bit of history here in the city on the life and legacy of General Kazimierz Pulaski, our guest speaker, our city historian, Mr. George Lucas.
Hello everyone, again for our annual General Pulaski Day. Welcome to the historic city of Poughkeepsie annual observance honoring General Kazimierz Pulaski and our Polish community here in the city of Poughkeepsie. It is a great honor to be here speaking to you today with my sincere gratitude extended to former Mayor John Tyzik, present Mayor Rob Rollison, and each of you. Today, October 9th, is the 237th anniversary of the mortal wounding of General Pulaski in a battle fighting for American ideals of liberty and freedom. In 2 days, General Pulaski Memorial Day will be again observed on October 11th as a United States holiday for the Polish hero of the American Revolution. This holiday is held every year in October 11th by presidential proclamation to commemorate his death from wounds suffered at the siege of Savannah, Georgia on October 9, 1779, and to honor the heritage and contributions of Polish Americans. The observance was established in 1929 when Congress passed a resolution designating October 11th as General Pulaski Memorial Day, and every president since then has issued an annual proclamation in his honor. In 1940, Roosevelt's presidential proclamation for General Pulaski is a poignant example. Whereas in a world seared by the ravaging hand of war and oppression, we Americans are increasingly grateful for the republic for which our fathers built on principles of freedom and equality. And whereas the valiant struggle to win American independence was advanced by the bravery of General Kazimierz Pulaski, a Pole who hated tyranny and who fought fiercely by the side of American patriots until he was wounded unto death, October 9th, and drew his last breath, October 11th, 1779. Now, therefore, I, Franklin D. Roosevelt, President of the United States of America, do hereby call upon officials of the government to display the flag of government buildings on October 11th, and I invite the people of the United States to participate in the observance of the day as General Pulaski's Memorial Day, with appropriate ceremonies in schools and churches or other suitable places, like our lovely park here. The dedication of the General Kazimierz Pulaski Memorial at our Pulaski Park on Sunday, September 8, 1940, and unveiled the bronze bust as a tribute to Pulaski, a Polish immigrant who during his lifetime was described as a living legend, a savior of American democracy, and the father of the American cavalry. Kazimierz Pulaski was born March 6, 1745 in Warsaw, Poland, became a Polish nobleman, soldier, and military commander who for nearly 10 years battled the Russians in an endless string of skirmishes, pitched battles, and cavalry raids across Poland. After losing his battle for Polish freedom, he traveled to Paris, where he met Benjamin Franklin, who induced him to join the American Revolution. Pulaski, impressed with the ideas of a new nation struggling to be free, volunteered his services. Franklin wrote to George Washington describing the young Polish man as an officer renowned throughout Europe for the courage and bravery he displayed in defense of his country's freedom. On July 23, 1777, Pulaski arrived in Philadelphia and promptly wrote to General George Washington, "I came here where freedom is being defended, to serve it, and to live or die for it." Pulaski joined Washington's forces on September 11, 1777, at the Battle of Brandywine in Pennsylvania, where he led a small force of men, and in his first military engagement, the British broke through the American lines and started bearing down on George Washington himself. So Pulaski quickly led the 30-man bodyguard unit straight into combat, charging the rapidly closing enemy while still wearing the military dress uniform of the Polish Hussars. Pulaski was wounded during this charge, but is credited with saving the life of General George Washington, the future first president of the United States. Pulaski's fervor for the American cause and ability in battle convinced Washington Congress to appoint him a brigadier general and first commander of the American cavalry. Most contemporaries who met Pulaski agreed that he excelled as a daring and energetic horseman. One friend described him as a soldier who fought with the force of 10 men. However, speaking little English, Pulaski discovered in his dismay that Washington and most of his generals failed to grasp the potential effectiveness of a highly trained, cohesive cavalry unit. Pulaski insisted that his men follow European-style cavalry tactics, act as shock troops in battle, and learn to harass the enemy on the march. Pulaski would continue to fight in numerous engagements, and with the support of Congress, organized his own cavalry force known as the Pulaski Legion. Kazimierz Pulaski's last ride came on October 9, 1779, during his defense of the British attack on Savannah, Georgia. Despite being heavily outnumbered by a large force of Redcoats, Pulaski knew his only options were to surrender or launch a blaze of glory death charge. So in a gallant attempt to rally his troops, Pulaski launched an assault straight into the teeth of the enemy. He was blasted with grape shot from a cannon at close range. He died of his wounds 2 days later at the age of 34. Today we are celebrating not just his daring deeds, we stand united in support of his battle for American freedom for all. We can also honor the efforts of Reverend Thaddeus Kaminsky, who together with others persuaded the Common Council of Poughkeepsie to rename this park General Pulaski Park, October 21st, 1929. We can also marvel at the symbolic significance of the General Pulaski bust that stands behind us, that was dedicated September 8, 1940. This bronze sculpture was created by Theodore Kagan, a Jewish artist, and the marble work on which it stands was done by Vincent Remisiewicz, a Polish stonecutter. It truly represents one man's life of courage, honor, and ultimate sacrifice. It also stands to symbolize the brave deeds of all the men and women who have fought and died for an ideal that is intrinsic in what it means to be a proud American. The United States Congress passed a joint resolution conferring honorary U.S. citizenship on Pulaski, and the President signed the bill on November 6, 2009. Today, I am here to pay profound tribute to General Pulaski and to acknowledge the patriotism and hard work of the Polish community here at Poughkeepsie. Together, we can continue to make this historic city an economically strong and diverse community to be proud of. I thank each of you. May God bless you all, and God bless America. Thank you.
And now we will be led by the Great American Fife and Drum and another musical selection and have the ceremonial placement of the wreath. Please stand for taps. We want to thank everyone that took time to come out today. We want to thank the Great American Fife and Drum. Let's hear it for them, our drum and bugle corps. Aren't they great? To the members of St. Mary St. Joseph's Church, and of course, the Maria Kopnicka School of Polish Language, thank you so much. To our exempt firemen, thank you so much for being with us and leading us again. Thank you. To the members of the Hudson Valley Polonaise Society and the General Pulaski Committee of Orange County, thank you for being here. And of course to our sponsors, the Italian Center, Marianne's Floral Garden, the City of Poughkeepsie, M&T Bank, and Rose and Kiernan. We thank them for their generous contributions. All right. So we have festivities this afternoon, both on the church grounds at St. Joseph's for Polish Heritage Days. And of course, Dennis Pulaski and the Maestro's Men will be playing at the Italian Center from 2 to 6. So we hope to see everyone out at these events this afternoon. It's my pleasure to be with all of you here again, here at Pulaski Park for another celebration. And now to conclude our event, Karen Johnson will lead us in God Bless America.
America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you and have a great afternoon.
W tym momencie podniesiemy polską amerykańską flagę, prosimy
prosimy. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us under the flagpole and we'll raise the Polish and American flag.
Polski zaśpiewam.
Dobra.
No ma mikrofon, zacznijmy wszyscy tutaj.
Good morning. Thank you for coming. Our flags have flown over the church for a year now since it's been closed, and it's time for us to replace them. We have students from the Polish school here to help us, and we're going to take the flags down, fold them up, and dispose of them as is tradition. And we're going to put new flags in their place. Thank you for coming.
Okay, chodź tutaj. You have to hold the flag. Jak zejdzie na dół, musicie złapać spódnicę. Dobrze?
Wy dziewczynki trzymajcie tą flagę. Tylko nie upuśćcie dziewczynki, dobrze? A może po jest Beata Wójcik? Chodzi mojej?
Ona też nie jest.
Bring the American flag.
Bring the American flag.
Under tradition of America, the American flag goes up first, the Polish flag goes up second.
Polish flag. I'm gonna hold the flag.
As you can tell, we didn't rehearse this very well.
You did one. Wait, make sure that it's right.
Czestochowa, you will notice that the American flag has position honor, the second flag in the row there. The Polish flag in Poland is flying higher than the American flag, which is the proper way to do it.
Other way.
No tak, amerykańska jest dobrze.
Other side.
Paulina, amerykańska do góry nogami.
Here we go.
Nie, już dobrze.
There we go.
You're not done!
Włoski do Polski, za Twoim przewodem złączył się z narodem. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski, za Twoim przewodem złączył się z narodem. Przejdzie Wisłą, przejdzie Wartę, będzie Polakami. Jak na przykład Bonaparte, jak zwyciężyć ma. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski. Za Twoim przewodem złączył się z ziemi włoskiej do Polski. Możecie tam, idźcie pomóż. Idź pomóż tam trzymać, trzymaj tam. Chodź, to trzymaj. Good. Hold it. Speak up, Poznania. Good job.
about you? Good.
Cześć, Krysia, cześć!
A ja mądra nie boli. Ja mądra. Ale to trzeba do tej pani mówić. Ja się bardzo boję.
O ja nie boli.
No to mów jej.
Ja mówię, nie położę.
Pani Stulichała tą książkę o pani siostrze. Your that book that you have.
Dzień dobry. Dzień dobry. Tu jest dużo.
Well, they just got some of that stuff out. Right, I think. That's what they're going to turn into the library. They still have a lot of books.
Give it away here. That's what we do. So I'm thinking what we can do is have empty bottles in the display there.
Yeah. Those are empty?
No, these are not. These are there's wine and beer tasting. Would you like some? So these are different Polish beer.
Yeah. Try a little beer. Troszkę.
Which one would you like?
Oh, that's a Are they dark or light?
So they're like, this one is a little bit lighter. This is good. So this is fresh on our. Yeah, this is from, it's named after the mountain region in Poland.
To muszą dowiedzieć się, czy tam, czy tego, czy się...
Tak, to musimy się spytać tego. Mówią, że oni oddali jeszcze Fader Jacek głos,
Ja mojego brata powołam w zeszłym roku, ona grecka, jego żona jest, a ja jak do niej mówię, czy ty chcesz, czy ty mnie dać, to ja tam, ale ja nie wiem, nie wiem,
I call you Tuesday when I come around 5
Tej skalistej prerii słychać głośny deptat końskich gór. Dzikiej scenerii, tej skalistej prerii słychać głośny deptat końskich gór. Jadę za Rio de Janeiro, najpiękniejszy miesiąc to maj, maj, maj. Jadę za Rio de Janeiro, najpiękniejszy miesiąc to maj.
Nie chce jeść, tylko pan
Dobra, ile to jest pierogów? A nie ma pierogów.
Gdzie to położysz?
Give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
Tu, nie trzeba Piotruś już, nie przekładaj.
Niecałe 6 tysięcy na rok. Tam jemu nie wszystko.
Oh, why?
How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
We're doing well. We're doing good, but we're just very tired.
I hear you.
What did you do?
You look tired.
Yeah?
So the trip was worth it?
Ja myślę, że
About the
obiad
trip,
nie
I
dostał. To niech pani daje nowe.
Potargamy te i damy ci inne, nie rzucaj. Te potargamy te nie
I got, is it all crazy? How are you doing?
You guys are the best time museum.
Yeah, I know. Keep us